This is going to surprise you.
What?
When I see a young woman with a nice pair of teeth, got you there.
Clean
Turns
teeth.
me on as crazy.
I love talking about fame because I think it makes people uncomfortable.
Okay. This is an uncomfortable smile.
Hello, my $1 billion baby, and welcome back. I am your host, Tara Electra, and on this podcast, we break down the $1 billion ideas from today's cultural leaders who push past the traditional route to create their very own pathway to success. Today's going to be such a cool episode. I'm sitting in bed with well-known actor who has taken his career into his own hands by dropping out of high school, leaving his hometown, and sleeping on his friend's floor to chase his dreams. This person has not wavered his focus throughout the competitive world of acting and landed it big in a star role on a hit TV show that's gaining millions of views. He is going to dive deep into the mindset for success, how to make it in Hollywood, and what it really takes to be a successful actor in the entertainment industry. So welcome, Michael Bailing. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Welcome to $1 billion baby.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
You're definitely a $1 billion baby, so I'm
Am I?
excited to have you. Yes,
Okay.
I just initiated you.
I've been deemed one.
The moment you sit in this bed, it's just, you're there.
I love it. I love it.
So obviously you've done so many amazing things with your career, but before we really dive deep into what you're doing now, I first want to start with how would you describe yourself as a kid growing up?
This is deep. This is not that deep, but
Who were you as a kid?
I was a fun, free-spirited, just easygoing kid who just wanted to, I think, laugh and then also make people laugh. I kind of was a class clown to a degree, and always was trying to get the giggle or try to get the laugh, and that got me into trouble in high school. But yeah, as a kid, I was the most free-spirited kid ever, man. Just like flying free, didn't have a care in the world, and was solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
So would you say you're an extrovert?
As a kid, I was.
Okay.
But kind of like we were talking about before, now I'm here. I'm introverted, especially post-COVID. It's just like weird. I like to do things, but if I was inside for the entirety of the day, I'd do that.
Yeah, it's nice sometimes.
I don't know.
What did you want to be when you were growing up?
When I was growing up, I had a few different careers that I wanted to try. As a kid, I think I wanted to be a firefighter, as every kid I think thinks of at some point. I wanted to be a police officer. I went through a pretty long stint from like 6th grade to, I don't know, 9th or 10th grade, where I was really like focusing on law enforcement, especially like in my hometown, and like did the ride-alongs. I was a cadet, all of these things like leading me towards this path. And then I kind of realized that wasn't what I wanted to do. I don't know what it was that kind of sparked that for me to switch. And I remember writing a paper my freshman year, wanting to be an actor, and my teacher told me that it wasn't a realistic thing. She said, the paper's fine, but just maybe strive for something more realistic. Growing up in Indiana, it's a very fair thing to say. Growing up in Indiana, when I tell that story, my friends are always like, "Well, did you like send her an email to let her know what you're doing?" I'm like, "No, I didn't send her an email. Like, what are you talking about?" But yeah, and then after that paper was written, I was like, okay, cool. And then my mom was in science, or was in the health field, so I kind of just shifted my focus and went on the science. So I going in high school, excuse me, I'm fumbling over my words. In high school, the back end of high school, I focused on biology and wanting to be a cardiovascular surgeon if possible.
Okay, so then the teacher told you this isn't realistic. So then you're like, hey, I'm gonna switch.
Yeah.
And then how long did you do that for until you were just like, no?
My sophomore year of college.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was it that intrigued you about acting to even get you to write that paper?
The Dark Knight. The film The Dark Knight. Batman. Have you seen it?
Yes,
okay.
Of course.
Thank goodness. No, that film, Heath Ledger's performance in that film, it just sparked something in me. And a lot of my friends in high school, we all liked just, watching television, as everybody does, now that I say that out loud. And we like to recite things to each other. Growing up as a kid, my cousin reminded me of this, actually, the cousin that you met. Mm-hmm. Growing up, that side of the family, our side of the family, we loved movies. We spent so much time watching movies, whether it's on car rides or whatever. And we would recite movie scenes back and forth to each other. So like from like 9 years old to today, I still do it today. I can just recite random movie lines for some reason. Just I have that. It just sticks to me. I forget what your question was, but
That's actually really cool though, because sometimes in your life you'll like try to figure out like, okay, what was like my pure authentic truth when I was younger that I actually like enjoyed without all the labels and society like pressure. So it's cool that you like look back and you're like, holy shit, I actually liked to do that.
yeah, it's an interesting to reflect in that way. But I kind of forgotten about it. But yeah, he reminded me that like that's what we used to do all the time. So I remember doing it in high school and in college, and my friends would be like, "Oh, here goes Mike again," you know, just because like once I get into it, I can't kind of stop. But yeah, no, absolutely. Wrote the paper. Teacher was like, "This is not realistic." Okay, cool. Switched to science. Was a biology pre-med in college until my sophomore year. And freshman year and sophomore year of college, I kind of had this weird. I was in a weird mental state freshman year and sophomore year. I was away from home. I'd broken this foot for the second time, and I wasn't running track and field anymore. My foot couldn't do it anymore. And I had discovered a pair of YouTubers who are still very prevalent today. That kind of, it just made me have this realization that if they can do something, you know, as significant from moving from the Midwest, it's the Paul brothers. I know that they're, you know, whatever.
I know people hate on them.
People hate on them, but
I'm like, look what they've done. Respect.
People hate on them for their obnoxiousness, their whatever. And sure, if you're not into that type of content, that's fair. But you have to respect what they did. You gotta put some respect on them. So like for them to be from Ohio and to move from Ohio to Los Angeles, I was like, oh wow, this kid can do it. I'm not saying that I'm the same as him at all, but like this is somebody from the Midwest who I can resonate with. I didn't know anybody else from the Midwest who had any type of aspiration to be an actor or be in Hollywood, if you will. So to see them do it is kind of where I had this idea, like, okay, cool, let me try.
So cool.
Thank you. And then like I went from there to modeling and took commercials like in the Midwest, and then I came out to LA in January of 2018. And
so what was like the first, obviously when you decide you want to do acting, it feels like a whole, like it's a whole thing. There's a lot in it.
Sure.
So like, where did you first be like, okay, I'm going to start here? Like, how did you know where to begin?
I didn't even know when I left college that I wanted to be like an actor. I didn't know what that was yet. I just knew I liked movies and things like that. I liked social media. I liked the vlogging aspect. I liked just entertaining people through our little rectangular devices, right? So first things first, before I even left school, I had joined a modeling agency and just kind of was riding that wave for for a year and a half, if you will. Rode that wave and just had fun doing that, and then it just slowly evolved. Like the shoots turned into like mini campaigns in downtown Indianapolis for Finish Line, like random things like that, and then it turned into like commercials, like regional commercials in Chicago, Ohio, Kentucky, various things like that, and then an audition came my way, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this, like. I think it was like a Chicago Fire, and I can still cringe to the day because I know exactly how the self-tape looks. And so then I talked to my agent. I talked to my agent's friend who was a coach down in Louisville, started to work with him more one-on-one. I went to New York for a little bit and did some classes up there, and then just kind of fell even more in love with this creative process of building out a character, studying a script, and just breaking things down. And then just after several auditions that I had that I didn't get in Louisville, my agent was like, "You're ready for LA." And I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, I've been on one set, like, relax." But then from there, you know, I just trusted her, trusted myself, and you know, had the support of my parents to a degree. You know, they weren't thrilled whenever I said I was going to leave biology pre-med to go be a model and you know, act, but you know, they're proud, and their support was definitely necessary and needed.
Was Hollywood scary to you at first when you looked at it? Were you like scared or were you excited?
I was so hungry and I was so excited, and I just wanted to attack it. So I wasn't fearful of it. I was
That's
just
cool.
excited. I was just excited.
I feel like that's the best way to go about everything is like you have to like be excited and you also have to have fun. If you're not having fun, then like you're not going to align with things or actually enjoy it or be good at it. Like some people are just like after a while they're not actually having fun anymore. So that's cool that you were like excited to be here and we're like, okay, let's just do it. What do you think makes you different from most people that don't make it in Hollywood?
I think that a lot of it has to do with luck, time, and place. But I guess something different about myself is I'm not afraid to make a fool of myself. And I think a lot of people can come out here with this idea that I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. I only want it to be like this, this, and this. And I think you can put yourself into a box very, very quickly, as opposed to letting yourself just do anything, do everything, make a fool of yourself. Like it's gonna be messy. Let it be messy, and just have fun with it. I think some people can get too in their heads.
That's so cool that you say that because one of the other guests I've had on, he did really well in his career and he said a similar thing.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, I blew up from my show because I feel like I was the only one that didn't care so much. He said everyone else felt like they had to be a certain way and I'm just like, I'm just going to have fun.
Like, yeah, do your thing. Like, it's your life at the end of the day. Like, everybody else's judgment doesn't matter to a degree, of course, but whatever you're going to do it. People are going to judge you no matter what, bro. So, like, do it. Do it.
When you go into an audition, do you feel like, because obviously, I mean, maybe not obviously to a lot of people, but I feel like belief is the most important thing. Like you have to believe in yourself and then you have to have probably a level of confidence. So when you walk into an audition, what do you do to be in your best version when you're going into an audition?
Just be the most prepared I can be. Be as off book as I can. And then just, also kind of like what you said, believe that you can see yourself in this role. Because if you're just doing this audition because your team wants you to do it, in most cases it's just going to be a wash. But if you take the time to prep, which you don't always get as an actor, unfortunately, like you could get a call today and says you got an audition tomorrow. Here's 6 pages, go learn it. You know what I'm saying? But if you have the time to prepare, then be prepared. I think that's what makes me the most confident and comfortable whenever I'm on a set or in an audition room is being off book and being able to just go in and roll with the punches, and also being open to feedback and being open to coaching. That's, I think, what my coach tells me, one of the biggest things that people struggle with is if you prep a scene all night long and we get in to do a scene and the director says to you, that was great, but try it this way. And it's a totally different way from what you had been, envisioning in your head. Some people really struggle to be able to do it the director's way. To be able to switch up their game plan, to be flexible. And I think that's something that you have to have. You have to have it.
Wow, that's interesting. I feel like that would be hard. You're like, I already practiced it this way.
But you gotta you gotta just, flip a switch in the moment,
Wow. And then I was going to say too, also if like you're acting and then someone says like constructive criticism on what you did, it's probably hard for a lot of people to stay confident and not just be like, oh, I suck, or like I didn't do this right.
Sure. And I think that can come with any career, realistically. I think that people just need to be sponges. Just be a sponge. If it's constructive criticism and maybe it's a little bit harsh, let it bounce off or like absorb it and like change your ways into this, to help to hopefully, make yourself a better person, a better actor, or a better podcaster, or whatever it is.
Yeah, definitely. You know what you reminded me of too when you were speaking is, have you heard about how Will Smith got the role for Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? No, you didn't? Oh my God, I'm going to send you this YouTube video. It's so good.
I heard that he used to memorize his counterparts' lines too, so he would be mumbling their lines. I knew that, but
you have to listen to his book, The Will.
The Will?
It's just called Will, but it's so good. You would love it.
Okay.
But there's a part where he talks about, and it's a YouTube video too, but he talks about how he had someone say like, oh, can you even do that, or can you do this role? And he's like, yeah, I would love to be an actor. And like, he goes to this party, and then right then and there, he thought he was just meeting people for the opportunity for the role. And they're like, no, everyone paused. They turned off the music and they gave him a script. They're like, read it. And he's never acted in his life. And then he's like, hey, no, like, let's do it in like 2 weeks. Like, let me memorize the script and I'll come back. And they're like, oh, yeah, 2 weeks. But then this person's going to be busy and this person from like CBS or something is going to be
Oh my
busy
God.
and they're not going to be able to make it. So then what? And he's like, okay, 3 weeks. And he's like, all right, well, then coordinating this person and this person, then is like, you take it now or like your shot's over. And then he's like, okay, give me 5 minutes. And then he went into the bathroom, memorized it.
Damn.
And then he came out and then he did it like great and everyone was laughing and loved him. And then he signed the paperwork at the party
Oh wow.
for the role.
I hope his agent was there. Jeez.
He didn't have an agent.
Hope they didn't
I
kill
don't
him
think
on
he
the
even had
deal.
an agent. He didn't have a lawyer. There was like a lawyer at the party. It was like a whole thing.
Oh wow.
So it was just so cool how you said sometimes like you have to be adaptable and then sometimes you don't have time to memorize the role. You're like, do that much work on it.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's like one of the benefits of in-person auditions because you can go in with your script and you can hold it, and if you drop a line, you kind of just come down and organically find it, and then you come back up, and that's what I miss about in-person auditions. But that, again, being adaptable and not having enough time to fully memorize or fully kind of prep for this character or the character that you may be playing.
Can you remember a time in your career that you wanted to give up?
I don't think so.
Wow, that's amazing.
Let me think. Let me think.
Like any time where it was getting like too hard and you kind of like maybe felt like you wanted to just be like, okay, maybe this isn't for me.
No,
Wow.
never.
That's amazing.
I was just always like, let's try it, and let me keep trying, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Cool. But I never came to a point where I was like, I came to a point whenever I was here for pilot season when I was out of money and I was like, I gotta go home to my manager, and he was like, no, you can't go home. Like we're in the process of negotiating some things. You can't go home. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, that was probably the only time, but I never wanted to give up. No.
Wow, that's cool. And so what was that time like for you when you didn't really have money? You didn't know where this was heading. Did you ever have like self-doubt? Or were you just pretty much like, what I'm trying to understand is there's some people that have like so much writing on something being successful that they almost have resistance to it and they almost like are critiquing it more. There's some people that are just, like you said, having fun and enjoying the process. And then there's also some people that like set a time limit on something. They'll be like, okay, I'm going to put my all into this for 1 year and go hard. And if I don't make it, I'm going to go back to my other life path or career. So like, which one do you feel like you were?
Back then, I'm trying to envision me like walking down the street at 21 years old in California. There was definitely moments where it could have turned back. Whenever I first got here, I had a friend in Indianapolis who was a model friend of mine, and he had moved to LA a few months before me. And I'd been contacting with him. I was like, yo, I'm gonna come out in January. Like, is there any way I can crash on your couch? And he's like, absolutely. I'm like, bet. I get off the plane. He texts me. He's like, hey. I was like, cool. Like, I'm on my way to you. He's like, nah, sorry, you can't. My roommate said you can't stay on the couch. I was like, damn, crazy. Cool, whatever. We're going to adapt. We're going to improvise, and we're going to overcome. I get a motel, stay there for one night. During that night, I'm like looking up Airbnbs. Like I have like probably like $3,000 like to use for this 3 months, which I thought was going to work. Anyways, and I find an Airbnb in Burbank. I'm able to get there from like, the 16th to January 16th, like February 4th for like $1,700, which is crazy. It was in the sketch part, but it's fine. We were fine. So I was there, and at that point, I definitely could have just been like in that motel room. I thought to myself, should I just like go home, save up money for a few more months? A friend who I had made out here, he was like, you can crash on my floor. And I was like, absolutely, I would love that.
I'll take your floor.
I will take your floor. So I was on the floor for like a month and a half with him.
No way.
Yeah.
A month and a half.
Yeah. It was solid.
See, commitment.
Got a sleeping bag. It popped on his radiator in North Hollywood. And then I got another one that also popped. And I couldn't seem to figure out the airbag. So I was just like, let me just stay on the bed. Let me just stay on the floor. Excuse me. Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. Was it the feedback in the role that really helped you keep going?
Definitely. It was definitely people from my hometown, people in this business who, had seen it and had really expressed joy from witnessing it. And then it was also just, during the time off from that particular role, I was able to go find other roles and work on other things. And that made me think, okay, cool. If you only see me as just one particular character, now I have shown you that I can do other things as well. And so to be able to bounce from this first role and kind of, I guess, move forward with the positive feedback that I've received from family, from friends, from acquaintances, from people on the street, that was a surreal moment when somebody recognizes you from a show and you're like, what? I still trip out every time because I'm like in the, pumping gas or doing something random. They're like, hey, really like your show. I'm like, oh, okay. Thank you. Like, you watched it? I don't know. It's always surreal to me. It's always appreciated, but always surreal.
That's perfect because it goes into my next question.
Fantastic. Let's roll.
Perfect. Okay, so I love talking about fame because I think it makes people uncomfortable.
Okay.
And I think that
This is
it's
an uncomfortable smile.
I think that it's like it's funny to me because everyone, like, the most sought after things in life other than love are money and fame.
Sure.
Like, fame is a very huge thing people want to chase, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's a very taboo topic and it's very interesting. So when that all like started unfolding for you, what was that like?
It came in. What was it like? It was interesting, and that's not a good enough answer. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper. It was kind of eerie, and it got lonely after some time, and especially like when it kind of gets into your head. But it's kind of almost like a high when you would see these notifications of your following jump from 10,000 to 500,000 in 2 months. That's weird. That doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. And then you just kind of feel. I felt this way. Some of my other coworkers felt this way of just like everyone's looking at us like, stop, let me hide. It doesn't make any sense because it's all coming from love, right? This or I guess fame, fans. It comes from fan, but like fan is short for fanatic. So you also got to remember that every single no matter what you do. But
Wow.
It got lonely at a time because you think that everyone's out to get you, and it's like you feel like this anxiety that people are using you, or in some cases they very much so were. Mm-hmm. But when it first hit, it was just like, oh wow, this is cool. I didn't think anything too much of it, but again, when you saw those notifications, cool. Sometimes there's a high. Now I've got my notifications turned off. Like that, it doesn't do anything, right? Mm-hmm. But I can't articulate what it felt like in the moment.
Well, I'll ask you more questions. Well, so I imagine some people around you changed how they were, even people you knew once you got famous, right?
Unequivocally.
Yeah. So what was that like?
There were some people who grew in the fame, if you will, with me, and you could see some changes in their behavior, and that was just like, why are you doing that?
Yeah,
like,
I'm still me.
What are you doing? But I think what was more telling was people who, with their approach to me, they didn't know how to talk to me, or they didn't, I don't know, can I talk to you? You're Hollywood now. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, shut up. Like,
especially from your hometown, I imagine.
Especially from my hometown, dude. Either people would, because I'd go home for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, and just go to the 3 bars that we have in my hometown. We'd all go out and get drunk, and that was it. And you would see somebody in passing that you probably haven't talked to since high school, and not because of anything negative, just life. And they were like, "Oh, hey, Hollywood." I'm like, "Nah, dude, get fucked." Like, I'm sorry for cursing all this much, but like,
perfectly fine.
That would be annoying. That would be really annoying. And then some friends would just be like, "Yo, man, you think you could
I know everyone gets asked some funny shit.
Yo, man, you think you could like post me on your Instagram. I'm like, wait, you want to post a picture of you? Like, I don't have any photos with you, bro. Like no, like, tag me. Like, so the girls like, I'm like, no, get out of here. Like, that's not how it works, first of all. But some people, like, they have this idea of fame or Hollywood, and once you're here and once you have a check mark on your phone, that you're something important.
Yeah.
And you're really not.
Well, what's
To a degree.
interesting too is like some people get fame and then they get the attention and then they want more because they maybe it's not as fulfilling as they thought it would be.
Right.
Kind of start to feel like the world could be not like a lot of people could not be real to you, so you get more secluded. Then you also don't know who you could trust.
Correct.
And then you also don't know people's intentions.
That's a big one.
And then how often do you like come across people where you're like, do you like me for me or do you like me because of...
Every day.
So how do you deal with that?
I have a radar, kind of like I have a radar. It's just like usually people are really bad at hiding their intentions. It's written all over their face.
That's cool.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna be civil with you, but like I'm gonna keep you at an arm's length because like I either I can't figure it out yet or I know what you're up to, and that's just weird. It's also just weird to have your guard up, which is like why another reason like why I could just be like in my house. I could have people over that I know and trust and love. We can play video games, we can drink, we can do whatever we want to do at the house. We don't have to go out and deal with these interactions with people, but that's no way to live. But yes, you just kind of have to. You kind of weed it out, and that's not fair to a lot of new people in my life that I've either been like, I've written you off, and maybe I was wrong. But that's just kind of like the loneliness that I speak about of feeling like you can't make any new friends or can't trust anybody because of this idea that people who know you from a certain body of work or social media, because all of these people may know you from those things, it makes me feel like I don't even know what I'm trying to say, like shelled up, like a hardened person for no reason.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah,
it definitely makes sense because I don't think a lot of people can understand what that's like to like go out on a daily basis, meet new people, and then never know like, does someone really like me for me and my personality and just because we happen to talk right now, or do they know who I am and are like their intentions real? Like that's a constant like, that's not just like, oh, I go to work and I get treated like this. This is like your life. It's like daily.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. I asked for it though to a degree. That's like that's the argument, right? Like
yeah,
you know
pros
what you're getting
to it.
into it. There's pros to having a certain job and being known, if you will, and there's cons to it, and that's fine. But yes.
Okay, so tell us some of the beautiful parts of it.
Oh. Just getting to travel and getting to go and do things. Like, I'll never forget one of the wildest things I've ever done was I went to a Sweet 16 party. I was paid to go to a Sweet 16 party in the Bahamas. No, in the Virgin Islands, excuse me.
That's cool.
Over Christmas break, like we had finished for our time of work, and then I was gonna go home, and they're like, "Hey, we actually have this cool opportunity. Do you want to go do this? Just like spend 2 days in the Virgin Islands, go to this one party for this chick, this girl. Can't think of her name right now, which is terrible, but I usually remember her name. I went to the party. We all played games. The parents were all there. It was chill. They were cool. They were from Indiana.
Oh, that's so cool.
They were from Indiana, and then we all flew on the same plane back to Indiana. I was
That's
like, that's
cool.
a trip. That's a trip. And then I drove home to Columbus and spent Christmas with my family. But it was great.
Yeah.
That was wild. And then just like randomly, if you're at a club and they recognize you, they might give you a bottle. Cool.
Yeah. People treat you a little like nicer in certain scenarios.
Definitely.
Take care of you a little better.
Definitely. Yes. Definitely. They definitely could take care of you a little bit better. Like I've been to the Indianapolis 500, which I love. I've befriended a lot of the Indianapolis 500 people, but like at first it was very much so like, hey, this kid's from Indiana. He's doing this thing. Let's get him on our track. Let's get him on the track. And it's blossomed into a nice friendship with a lot of those people over there. But at first, a lot of those cool opportunities just kind of start from it's marketing. It's their marketing. Their marketing, because to bring someone in who has reach or has somewhat of a reach, I'm not going to say have crazy reach, but somewhat of a reach, is going to help them in the long run.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like to have those opportunities is a lot of fun. And then to just get to live a life that I like, take care of my family, and travel. I don't know, the freedom, the flexibility of what I do, I guess is awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Does the fame, wait, you tell me.
I was gonna say to you, like, I was thinking about it too, like influencer fame and celebrity, like actor fame, is very different.
Yes, but I feel like sometimes influencer fame sometimes hits, dude. I feel like it hits harder.
Well, you know what I think it is, and I'm curious to think what you think. I'm curious to hear what you think. Is influencers, they're famous for fans feeling like they know them, because
Correct.
they're very much like showing themselves constantly.
Yeah.
Whereas like actors who are famous, they love you for this role. So it's like you're more mysterious, because it's like, who are you? Who are you really,
am I?
Michael?
Tune in next week. I think here I concur with you. First and foremost. However, I think I'm one of those actors that's very much so like in the influencer world. I'm not an influencer,
Which I'm proud of you for doing
well,
that.
thank you.
It's the future.
Thank you. Oh, absolutely. Thank you. It's I'm not afraid, like I said, I'm not afraid to go out and make a fool of myself, try things, do things, whatever. I'm live on Instagram, I'm live on TikTok, I'm on Twitch. I'm doing all of these random things that, most traditional actors, a lot of my co-workers, they don't do these types of things. They don't like to do these types of things. I find joy in it. I find a lot of joy in it. And I don't mind sharing bits and pieces of my life with you, because, again, like you said, that's going to create a more of an authentic relationship, a more authentic reaction. Again, you're a fan, so I'm going to keep you at bay, but I want you to be able to relate to me, because I've seen the power that social media has, and it's pretty deep.
Yeah.
It's pretty deep. I've seen, I guess, like what these companies are doing with their marketing schemes when it involves social media, and I love and I enjoy being a part of it. Some of the brand deals that I've done are amazing, and I feel like it's because you put a little bit of your authentic self into, obviously, the work that you do, but then you also put a little bit of authentic self into the content that you create, whether it's a silly, goofy selfie, well, not really selfies, but like, making TikTok videos, letting people just in on a little bit more of your life. But again, having your barriers, and I think having your limitations, because if you don't have limitations, then you just open yourself up. You open yourself up for too much. That's too much.
No, I'm proud of you for doing that, because I feel like influencers got a bad rap for so many years. And like celebrities, I mean, still to this day, it's like every influencer wants to be a real celebrity. Like they all want to cross over into acting.
I've
music,
noticed that.
All of them.
Yeah.
Because they do still put the celebrities on a pedestal. And I think, is because like it's so traditional. It's the traditional way to become famous. Like most of Hollywood is ran by these big agents and movie producers and all this stuff, right? Whereas influencers came out and they were like their own business. They like pop up and they have their own like media. Like they have their own, like they get millions of views on something. So like they can create their own business. They can get their own money. Like they can do so much.
Absolutely.
And so that was kind of like an unknown thing for Hollywood. So I feel like what's funny is now the influencers want to cross over to the celebrity level, and then a lot of the celebrities that are smart are starting to create a social media presence and be more authentic with their fans, because they're like, yeah, why wouldn't I do this? Or why wouldn't I create my own fan base and make my own money too?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you see Drew Barrymore on TikTok, Shay Mitchell on TikTok. They're doing the things. They're doing the same filters that you and I do sitting in our bed or on our couch, and I like to see that as well.
Yeah.
I like to see that as well. It's just, you're absolutely right, yeah.
The industry is changing.
It has to. It has to. It has to. It has to.
Yeah, because I feel like the times where like if you think back to like back in the day, like Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt and those types of people, like you'd see them. I just remember when I was little, they would be on like magazines and stuff, but like you don't know them at all. You don't know anything about them. They're very mysterious, but that was like who we all like fanned over. And then now these people are like sharing their life, not them specifically, but now it's more common for people to like gravitate to the ones that they feel like they know more.
And that makes sense. And I think that's what social media has done. Because I think before our time, movie stars were more authentic movie stars. They had much more power. Like they had fan mail, things like that. People still get fan mail, sure, but now everybody's attainable by this. You want to send a DM to The Rock, there's a chance he might see it. You know what I'm saying? Whereas you wanted to send a letter to Johnny Depp 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, he might open it in a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are much more attainable now, and I think that's changed this level of movie stars and this level of fame, because I feel like I relate to you. Oh, you drink matcha in the morning too? I do too. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that. They feel like that, and I think that's why these influencers can blow up so quickly out of nowhere, because they're relatable.
Yeah, so true. Okay, so let's get into obviously having this lifestyle and not knowing people's intentions and things like that. What has it been like for you in your relationships and dating?
Here it is. I knew this was coming. It's been, let me just think. When I first moved out, no, actually, I'm not going to say that. 4 years ago. No. What has it been for relationships wise? I haven't dated in, let me make sure I get this right. Since 2021. That's the last time I dated. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just been, I guess I've gone on.
I was going to say crickets.
I've like been like dating somebody, but I haven't been in a relationship since 2021. I don't know. The first girl that I took out in LA, she lived in LA. Didn't go so hot. I think we went out probably three, 4 times maybe, and I'm still friends with this girl to this day. She's still in our friend group. But I was like, I just didn't like the way you handled that first like lunch we had. Like it was very much so post me, repost me. We're at Shake Shack. What do you want me to do? Like, here's your fries. There, you know. But that I thought to myself, this can't be. There's all these beautiful women here. This cannot be. You guys are all not like this, and you're not obviously. But at 21 years old, going on a date with this girl who I was like, oh wow, she's like beautiful, and we go to dinner, and then all she was talking about was like social media and talking about like doing this, and then like panning it over, and like, okay, now you repost me, and I was like,
so awkward.
Yeah, incredibly awkward. She was, shoot your shot.
Why did you repost me? I keep checking. You didn't post it yet. I
was like, I'm not really much on my phone, I'm just trying to enjoy our time. That was one of the weirdest first few dates that I had.
So you knew her intentions were not good.
Correct. And I was like, this is fun. You're adorable, but I'm gonna peace out. And she's fine. She's cool. She's chilling. She's not tripping about it at all. Neither am I. And then, I dated this girl. She was Canadian. I met her through social media. So again, like a red flag, maybe. I don't know. But like, no, the relationship was fantastic. It was me who kind of cut the ties like in 2020 during COVID because we couldn't go see each other. And I was like, this is a weird time. I can't leave my apartment. And I'm just, not in my right mind a lot of the time, unfortunately. So I'm just going to cut the ties. And so that wasn't very good on my part because that was like a 1.5 year long relationship that I just cut for really no reason. So that was really shitty of me. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's deeper layers to that.
I was going to say there must be. You don't just cut a relationship after a year unless there's deeper.
There's deeper layers that I won't talk about on this podcast.
That's fine.
That I won't talk about to the platform, or to this platform particularly. But yeah, and then after that, I was chilling for a while.
So what is it like when you like go out and try to meet people? Like, how do you know when someone likes you for you or not? Or like, how do you navigate all this? And like, what is it like?
Again, like I said, some people's intentions are just
Obvious
they're
now.
obvious. Yeah, it can be obvious, and then you're like, okay, cool. Like, I can vibe with you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take you seriously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you just kind of have to go into it more with an open mind. If I don't feel anything off the first, like any type of like, not a red flag, but a red flash of like
Yeah.
you're trying to do something, you have ulterior motives here, then I'll just be myself and just go with the flow until you give me a reason.
Yeah.
Until you give me a reason, I'm in. Let's do it. Let's try something. Let's go have fun. Whatever.
What's your favorite way a girl's hit on you before?
I don't even know.
What's the funniest way a girl's hit on you?
So, I don't even think that it happens. I'm trying to think.
Oh, it doesn't happen.
Maybe in the DMs, but I can't remember those. I've been sent a drink before. That was nice.
That was sweet.
I was like, whoa, are we in the movies? What's going on? Like, this waiter came over. He's like, and for you, sir. I was like, I didn't order this. He's like, no, from the lady. It's like, please. Okay. I was like, thank you, lady. I wasn't attracted to her at all, but I went over and I thanked her, and that was fine. But that's happened a couple times. The first time it happened, I was like, wow. But I guess I can't really recall the most funniest or the most interesting way someone hit on me.
What's your favorite quality about a female? Like, if you were like, what interests you the most if someone...
This is gonna surprise you.
What? I was gonna say something funny, but I can't.
If I'm sitting at a table or whatever, set the stage. I'm sitting at a table, the dinner's in front of me. I got my friends here with me, and I just crack my neck or whatever, look over, and I see a young woman with a nice pair of teeth. Oh. Got you there. I made you think for a second after I said pair. A pair of teeth, set of teeth, I should say.
That's it. You're sold.
That I like. You have really nice teeth.
Oh,
respectfully.
thank you so much.
But like that, especially if you're hygienic, you take care of your teeth. Okay, cool. Like, it's a basic thing. Brushing and flossing. It's
There's
basic.
something that just turns you on about the clean teeth.
Turns me on is crazy. But it definitely,
I could tell you floss.
I was like,
Colgate?
Crest? Colgate? Yeah, whatever. Crest 3D. No, that I love it. I love nice teeth. I love nice teeth.
That's it. That's all he's looking for, ladies.
I mean,
nice teeth.
Nice teeth. I like fit, nice teeth.
That's how you slide into the DMs. You say, I like your teeth.
Send me a selfie of your teeth. Yeah. Send me a close up of your teeth. No. It's weird.
What quality, like in a personality trait?
Humble.
Humble.
Again,
I was
fun.
crying because I laughed so hard.
Oh, that's good.
Go on. Now I'm black all over.
You got black on the wing. I would say, yeah, somebody who is, humble and fun, and like I said, doesn't take themselves too seriously, because I don't take myself too seriously. And to have two people who don't take themselves seriously, we will rule the world.
Say you're interested in a girl and you want to take her out on a first date. Tell us where you would take them and what that date would look like.
Okay. I can't even really imagine this right now, because like I found myself in a situation where I'm like, oh wow, you're adorable. Like, I would take you out, and then the time comes to like go and do it, and I'll be like, don't want to do it. Not because of them, just because I don't have any motivation to do it. But if that was the case, I would probably want to go to. Maybe I'd ask what you like. What do you like to eat? But again, you're supposed to plan it, so it's like.
No, it's nice to ask.
I want to make sure you don't hate sushi before I take you to a sushi restaurant. I think that's fair. But I like Yamashiro in Hollywood. Nice overlooking Hollywood. It's a great spot. Catch steak. We've been there. So scrumptious. Again, I can't even think of like first date spots because I haven't been in so long.
I haven't done it in years. Did I ask the question right? Was it what?
No, that was the right question.
Oh, okay.
I haven't done it.
Has been crickets.
It has been. Play a lot of video games nowadays.
Now I can see why you're not going on dates.
I would so much rather sit and play video games from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m.,
Damn.
then
How
probably
many hours is that?
I don't know.
Do you move to pee?
Yeah.
Do you eat?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I deliver. I get food
Do you sleep
ordered.
in the chair and then wake up in the morning and go again?
I've never done that before, but I'd love to try. But no, I haven't done this date scenario, so I'm really trying to think. But Yamashiro, catch steak, those are basic. But also like, hey, let's go to Patty's on Riverside. This little diner. It's a diner. It's
Oh,
easy.
cute.
It doesn't have to be that flashy. I don't think that dinner has to be that flashy. Oh, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
I've asked my friends this question before. If a guy is interested in you and he wants to take you out, is coffee an acceptable first date?
If you're meeting on a dating app, I've heard. I've heard that like a lot of girls will say, "Take me to coffee." I've had some of my friends say like, "I'll tell them to take me to coffee because I've never met them yet." I feel like if you've met someone, I've still never went on a date from a dating app because I just feel weird. But I would say that if I've met someone before and they take me to coffee, then I'm like, why are we on like a quick interview when I literally know you? That would be weird. You're like, I only have 15 minutes. What drink do you want?
What if they only had 15 minutes though? Would that almost be like, I've only got 15 minutes for this morning, for the next week and a half? Can I spend it with you?
For the first day.
Is that like nice or no?
I don't know. I don't like it, but maybe some girls would.
Copy you.
I don't know. I'd be like, why?
See, if I don't know you, I'm gonna
Depends.
take you on
If
a
I felt
coffee
like we were having a business meeting, I'm totally down to meet you for coffee to like talk about a quick deal.
Fair.
Because it's a work week.
Fair. I like coffee.
I like coffee if I know you. I just don't do like blind dates. Or like I've never went on a date with someone haven't hung out with yet. So I think that, okay, to answer your question, I think girls would like the coffee date if they haven't met you in person yet. But if they've met you and hung out with you, I think it's a little odd.
Sure, that's fair. I just like the coffee date because of what he said. Because it's like, if we don't vibe in 10 minutes, I'm out. See
Yeah.
ya. I don't have to sit over an hour dinner or an hour and a half dinner.
You don't like that awkwardness?
I despise
Pulling teeth to discuss a topic?
I hate small talk. And if like I feel like I'm the one pushing the conversation, driving the whole conversation, I'm like, what do you want to ask? Do you want to like have a conversation, or what are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
Speak.
Dates are awkward.
It can be.
They really are.
But yes, dinner.
Awkward coffee dates and we're good. That's how he asked a
Coffee
girl
just
on a
is
date.
It's so quick. It's so fun. Like, you can make it 15 minutes or you can make it an hour.
Wow.
And I think that I like the versatility of a coffee date because you're not locked in. But a dinner, you're locked in for an hour.
Yeah, I feel you. I just feel like if I knew you already and you were asking me to go on a coffee date, I'd feel like maybe just because I think it's just a personal thing. I would be like, oh, you really have no time to carve out to like sit down. That's what it would feel like for me.
What?
If I know you already.
Ooh.
I'd be like, all right, well then I'm busy too. I'm very busy, by the way. So if I can carve out some time,
Sure.
right?
Fair.
Like that's how I would look at it.
That's fair.
But yes, I do think that if you don't know someone yet, I think it's a really good idea to do a coffee date and not like a long, awkward dinner.
Yeah, because if you don't know me and somehow we get on the top of the politics and we say something that we disagree with, that's going to make an awkward 55 minutes.
And then you're going to start asking other people to come sit with you at the table. And just, no, I'm just kidding.
I'd be looking around like, see if my friends are here. Like,
You're like,
terrible.
oh, I got to go. So the other night when we were at dinner with all of our friends, I won't say it was just me and you because it wasn't.
Yeah, it was all of my friends. Sorry.
The other
I have
night
to
when we were
clarify.
at a group dinner, you mentioned that you work on your mental health a lot. So I want to know more about that.
Yes. I think, what do? I say something that I like about myself every day in the mirror. I name one thing.
I love that.
Just whether it's something physical, something mental how the way I think, the way I am thinking about the day already or whatever, or you crushed that workout today. You got to kind of hype yourself up, because you are your biggest supporter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You're all your guy at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the biggest things that I practice. I write goals every week, goals every month, every year. So January 1st, it's like long-term goals. And then, every month after that, you write your medium-sized goals that you can achieve that month, whether it's like make X amount of money or create X amount of TikToks or something social, what has to do career-based or life-based. The goals kind of help you to it builds your self-confidence and it builds your self-worth to know that I can take care of this. I did this myself, whatever it may be. So that's like the two big things that I focus on. And then saying no. Oh my God, I love saying no. Oh, it's no is a full sentence, as we all know. Maybe we don't.
Wow, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, you want to go grab coffee tomorrow? Just me and you, not a business date, not a business meeting, just a date.
No.
There you go. You don't have to make an excuse. You don't have to make an. You know how you like.
I would feel so weird to just say no without making an excuse because I'm too nice. I care about people's feelings.
I do. Well, I don't know if I care that much about people's feelings, but I'm a very nice person. I think deep down.
Doesn't seem like it.
But I've had women tell me I was too nice and they wouldn't date me, and I was like, okay, don't know what that means. Do you want me to be an asshole? Like, what do you want? Okay, but saying no is probably one of the most powerful things to say. Whether it's like,
yeah, it's respecting your energy.
You got to respect yourself first. Don't put. I mean, yes, put others first, but also put yourself first in this capacity. Take care of yourself. If you're not having a good day, and someone's like, "Hey, let's go out and get dinner, go get coffee, or do something."
Yeah.
Just basically like, no, not because no, I'm tired. No, I don't want to. I mean,
no, I don't.
You can double down on it.
I just genuinely, don't want to. That's my reason.
I've said that.
Nothing to do today.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to see you. I don't miss you enough to see you.
It's funny.
But saying no as something that I've had to practice because probably only learned how to do it like a year ago or so. But like, if you don't say no, you're going to spread yourself too thin.
That's so true.
And you'll end up doing poor work because you're spread too thin.
Yeah.
And
you can't help others until you help yourself. It's huge.
Sign it, seal it, deliver it.
Yeah, because I'm someone that constantly gives to people, sometimes too much. And then sometimes I'll be like, okay, because that's like my work. Like I help talent. Yeah. So it's hard to just, it's like I'm always thinking about everyone. So sometimes I give too much for them than myself. So that's something I always have to balance of okay, no, making sure that I'm filling up my cup and not just filling up other people's cups.
Fill it up.
And then when you fill up your own, you can actually help more people. So yeah, saying no is really powerful. When you were writing your goals every month, do you read them every day, or do you just read them at the beginning of the month and then you review them at the end of the month?
I have them in my notes app, so I'll check them a decent amount of time. I don't put them in my mirror.
Yeah.
Things like that. I'll check them every now and then, but I don't look at them every day. Let's fucking get motivated. I don't do I don't do that type of thing.
But that every morning you say something you like about yourself, because that's practicing self-love.
Come on.
Which is the most powerful energy you can have.
Really?
Yes.
Are you an energy guy, like crystals and things like that?
There's crystals next to you. That's why you're in sync right now. I'm just kidding. No, it's already been scientifically proven that we are made of energy.
Right.
So.
No, I concur.
So I've been every morning I have a list of things that I know I want to work on too with my life, or say that there's something I don't quite believe yet, or I feel not as positive about something happening in my life. I write those things down and twist it into a positive. And then I read those every morning.
Nice.
To reframe my way of looking at the world. And then I actually attract better things because I'm looking at things in a more positive way.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. So it reminds me of what you're saying, because almost every morning I don't want to do it, but now I won't myself start my day unless I do it, because every time I do it, my day goes so much better. And like I align with things and things just work out easier. And so, but it's a lot of it is also like some things all right is just making myself feel good about me. So it's very much what you were saying. It puts you in a very good mental state. And yeah, you just live a way more happy life.
Yes, kind of. Yes, yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, I think that obviously I love that for you. For me, it's like I can say that thing about myself, like, "Oh, yeah, I love your ears today, Mike. Thanks, Mike." You know, or whatever it may be.
Because
but
don't you feel like you have to actually get yourself to believe it before you feel a shift? Like, so
Yeah.
if you say to yourself, like, you truly have such a great personality. You're so magnetic. I love that so many people always want to be around me. Say that was like your belief that you were taking on, and you're saying that to yourself in the morning.
I would
You have
never
to
say
like
that.
get yourself to believe it.
Right. No, I hear what you're saying. Yes. I would never say that, but I hear what you're saying.
So what are some things you say?
I would say like, "Oh man, you take care of people. You have a big heart."
Mm-hmm.
Say things like that.
That feels good.
Yeah, but again, it's like I think what we have to remember, like what people out there who may struggle with things remember is like not every day is going to be a good day, even if you do all of those things.
Yeah.
Even if you're as prepared as you can be,
Mm-hmm.
your
sure.
your head's gonna play with you.
Yeah.
I could say I love myself 50 times in the mirror and mean it, and then the chemicals in your brain might be like, not today, and that's the unfortunate part about it is but you have to remember it just comes in waves.
But have you like really heard about like most of our things in life come from when you really dig deep, not feeling worthy, which means not having self-love.
Yeah,
So
I know that.
yeah, so practicing it is really powerful.
Mm.
Okay, so the fun stuff that I know you absolutely love. No, I'm just kidding. So tell us about what you can say. I know there's a lot of like restrictions and things around the strike that's going on with actors and writers. Give us a little clarity in the ways that you can about what's going on.
So essentially, from my understanding, is the WGA and the SAG-AFTRA Guild Union. They are fighting for a better deal. Because I think there's like every 4 or 5 years there's a deal signed with the AMPTP, which is essentially all the heads of the studios. We just want a little bit of fairness when it comes to the AI, because I know a lot of people are in fear of the AI kind of taking over. I know some of the things that they had talked about in the first contract were like scanning background actors and then not ever needing them again, and like also scanning actors to not ever need them, not ever not need them again, but to kind of diminish them to a degree. And then the biggest one is residuals. Actors and writers alike are both fighting for fair residuals when it comes to a lot of the streaming sites, because numbers aren't released, and so people are either getting just tiny little 13-cent residuals from a TV show that they've worked on, and so I know all of the actor friends that I have, we all stand in solidarity with the WGA and SAG-AFTRA alike, and all we can do is keep picketing, keep trying to put pressure on the AMPTP, and hopefully a deal will be done soon. I know that WGA is currently, they were talking again to the AMPTP, but then they just said, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, that the deal is not good enough still. So we still fight. We fight on.
It's so interesting because I feel like it's such a dark future to think about. Like, you being an actor is probably there's reasons why you're doing it. You probably fall in love with doing it and being in that process and doing that in your day. Like, it would be so weird to like see yourself on TV or a movie and you didn't even act it because now they like took your face
Right.
and you're like, oh, look at me doing that. Like, what would you do every day? You'd just be like, all right, guess I got to go find another career, but I'm still famous for this movie and all this stuff. Like, it's so weird.
I don't know. I think you'd still. I think that whoever would be scanned would still technically make money, so you'd be able to
Yeah,
like.
you'd still make money,
Yeah,
but you'd be
but-
chilling.
You'd have nothing. Like the most fulfilling part of acting to me is when you're across from your partner and you reach this creative high. It's woo. There is nothing quite like being in a scene and getting to a climax or getting to a moment and you just they yell cut and you kind of just forget what happened. Mm-hmm. It's a blur. It's a blackout.
That's cool.
And that's what I think every single actor kind of strives for, is to achieve this high, this creative high that I've only experienced on sets.
That's so cool. Wow. I actually haven't heard anyone talk about that. That's really cool.
Really?
Yeah. That you like black out and you like get to a place like that. Oh yeah, I was going to ask you about like method acting. Is that the one where you can get like lost in a character and then you cannot come back?
Not come back. I mean, I think
Well, it's
so.
hard to come back.
Yeah, I think that's like the one that people are like where you basically stay in character for whether you're walking around on set and you stay in character, or whether you drive home as the character and go to sleep as a character and wake up as a character. I don't know. Some people take it
Yeah.
to certain extremes, but it's like also method acting. I think can fall into the category of like just taking like doing extreme things to like prepare yourself for the role. Like Christian Bale, for instance.
Yeah.
He's one of the most notorious ones who, lost a bunch of weight for The Machinist and then lost a bunch of weight for I can't even think of the boxing movie with I can't think of it the
Me
title
neither.
of it. And then putting on a bunch of weight for Batman, and then putting it
Yeah,
on
that's
for
crazy.
Vice, and he I think he's one of the most notorious ones to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's definitely cool to see. And would I put on some weight or lose some weight? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd want to walk around with like an 80-pound gut though. Like,
Yeah.
to play Dick Cheney, like.
But
That's a
doing all
full-
that is like when I imagine those actors like watch it and then they're like, it's fulfilling to know how much they like broke a limitation in their mind to become this character. It's probably like very cool to see yourself get to that place, and it's probably very fulfilling because of that. So it's just weird to think of AI like removing all of it.
Taking it all away.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah. It's fearful. So we are fighting
A digital war.
a digital war. iRobot is after us. We're gonna try to hopefully figure out something. And just at the end of the day, I just want to go back to work. Mm-hmm. We all just want to go back to work. Like, yes, we want a fair deal, of course.
Has it been weird this time, like not working?
Yeah, it feels like COVID with freedom.
Yeah.
It feels like COVID with freedom. Like there's not a lot to do. I mean, yeah, I work on my own things and I'll write my own things and my own thoughts and create my own projects, whatever. Like that's been fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I miss work.
Mm-hmm.
I miss waking up and having a schedule, and obviously I know I can create my own schedule, but I miss having someone make a schedule for me.
I like when they do it. No, I feel you.
I miss work.
So I do this thing called Manifest Moment, and it's where you envision yourself 3 years from now. Where will you be and what will you have accomplished?
Hopefully alive and breathing. Still living in Los Angeles. I will have accomplished the end of a long running show, the button of a long running show, the bow of a long running show, and hopefully the beginning of a new one. And maybe like a brand deal.
Just one.
Maybe, I mean, listen, another campaign would be great.
3 years from now, what?
3 years is a long time.
Yes, what will you have
Let's say
accomplished? And picture where would you be in this moment that you envision?
In this moment, let's see. August 25th. 2:30. PST. I would be Probably still in my house. Probably just chilling in my house.
Just chilling.
Probably
Great.
like what, 240? Probably like.
What will you have accomplished?
Oh, what will I accomplish? Yeah.
Where will you be?
Um,
Probably at home.
Probably just at home playing video games, but like, hopefully, like I said, putting a bow on a long-standing show and sending that show off, and then hopefully picking up another show, and having done that for a year or two by that time, and then in that 3-year time frame, I hope to have accomplished. I will have accomplished. Let me say. Let me use my words correctly. At least 3 more campaigns of different brands or repeat brands. And then still single, chilling. Safer. Maybe I haven't. I added a guest house so my mom can come visit more often.
Oh, that's cute.
Because that's what she's like. I want you to put a casita in the backyard. I'm like, okay, relax.
I imagine myself doing that for my mom.
Yeah, like come on, come hang.
Yeah, I would love.
You have
if
your
she-
space. I have my space. Don't come into the main house. Don't come into the main house after 11, Mom. You know, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. Okay, so what is your $1 billion quality that got you to where you are now in life?
I'm not good at these types of answers because I don't like to talk about myself, but fuck it. Maybe like my genuineness.
I love that. That's a good one.
Yeah. My smile, maybe.
Your teeth.
I do love my teeth. Yeah. My genuine smile. How about that? I'm kidding. No, my genuine. Yeah.
Okay, and then thank you so much for coming on the show. Let everyone know where they can find you on social media.
You can find me. Thank you for having me, first of all.
Oh, thanks for coming on.
Of course.
We laughed a lot.
We did. I made you cry a couple times.
Yeah.
Wow. You can find me on Instagram at MichaelB05. You can find me on Snapchat at the same thing. You can find me on Twitter at MichaelEvansB005, I think.
And you're playing Twitch now.
And I'm playing Twitch now, and that Twitch is MichaelB0505. A lot
Where
of
you
zeros
just go
and
live
fives.
and you just talk shit the whole time?
I
What are you talking about on those
play
lives?
games. I interact with the viewers. I say, how you guys doing today? What's your weekend plans? I streamed before this, actually. But I play video games.
Super cool. All right, thanks for coming on.
Of course.
So that's it for you today, my $1 billion baby. As always, please comment and let us know what parts resonated with you the most. Michael and I will be reading through all your comments and responding. I'm so excited to see you again next Tuesday where we'll have another exciting episode. Follow us at $1 Billion Baby on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and we'll see you next week.